Hi there. Do you feel like you live an exceptional, extraordinary, and uncommon life? Or do you feel more like you just live a mediocre, normal, ordinary life? That's the question for today. Baby Bear came down for breakfast, only to find his porridge bowl empty. And he squeaked, "Who's been eating my porridge?" And Papa Bear came downstairs to breakfast, and he found his porridge bowl empty. And he bellowed, "Who's been eating my porridge?" At which point, Mama Bear, who was outside, pops her head into the kitchen and said, "If I've told you once, I have told you 1,000,000 times. It was Mama Bear who woke up first and came downstairs to put the coffee on. It was Mama Bear who brought in the morning paper. It was Mama Bear who put away the dishes from last night. It was Mama Bear who cleaned out the cat litter box. And it was Mama Bear who rousted your lazy bodies from bed this morning. So listen and listen carefully. It was Mama Bear who has not yet made the porridge." I love that story. And you might be wondering, how does this fit in to being an uncommon or an exceptional life when we're looking at Mama Bear and maybe we sort of feel like that's our life? We're busy from sunup to sundown with chores and activities, taking care of the family or taking care of people that we might work with or taking care of just so many demands on our time that we are not taking care really maybe of ourselves. And this can lead to feelings of discontentment and anxiety, even anger, frustration, and resentment. Well, when we are comparing ourselves, let's say, we are really making some assumptions. And when we're making assumptions as to how our life should look, sometimes those assumptions, if not often, if not maybe even all the time, those assumptions are based on what we are comparing ourselves with others, or based on some false idea that we have adopted to what an uncommon, what an exceptional, and what an extraordinary life might look like. So I am not here to tell you or to teach you how to be exceptional. I already believe that you are exceptional. I'm not here to tell you or teach you how to live that uncommon life, because I believe that you are already living an uncommon life. Even if from your own viewpoint you think it's normal, ordinary, mediocre, that's all an opinion, isn't it? It's an idea. It could be one of those limiting ideas that I so often talk about. And what happens if we adopt this limiting idea that I'm nothing special, I'm mediocre, I just live a normal, common life, I'm just busy sunup to sundown, putting out fires. What happens to our life, to our fire, to our desires, to our passion, to our excitement when we're living from that mindset? Instead of allowing ourselves to approach everything from this uncommon viewpoint. If we knew who we were, if we could value all of those things that we think are ordinary, if we could value them in a greater way, what do you think might happen to our self-confidence? I think it's going to go way up. So I have a couple of things for you to do, a couple of activities, exercises. If you take some time out, and so it's 5 things, 5 things to ask yourself. So first of all, list the 5 things that you like best about yourself. These 5 things, that's your inner brilliance, that's your inner genius. That's where your passion and your vitality and your excitement and your enthusiasm comes from. Identify those 5 things and do more of it. Do more of it. And then write down the 5 things that you like the least about yourself. Self-awareness is key. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't mean that you have to get better at those things or even that you have to learn to like them, although that would be cool. But look loosen them up. We can loosen them up through prayer, through affirmation, through focusing on those 5 things that we love, by telling ourselves the truth about those things, that it's just an opinion, that somehow, somewhere along the line, somebody must have told us that these 5 things that we don't like are not good, that there's something to be ashamed of, that there's something to hide. Sometimes these 5 things, one of these 5 things that we don't like, is our brilliance and our genius. For example, maybe we're boisterous and outgoing. Maybe we're outrageous and bold. So many of us, especially if we're women, we're told early on that we had to be nice, we had to be ladylike, we had to fit in. We couldn't be loud, we couldn't be bold, we couldn't be outrageous. But yet, maybe that's who we are. And that we could maybe move that from something that we don't like about ourselves to one of the things that we do like about ourselves, because that is part of our gift. But if it really is something that is a flaw, or we perceive it as a flaw, just loosen it up through some sort of spiritual practice. Next, list 5 things that's important to you. What 5 things are important to you? Is it family? Is it authenticity? Is it kindness? Is it generosity? Is it whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Identify those 5 things, make them a priority, and again, do more of those because it's a priority. And finally, write down the 5 things that were important to your parents about yourself, about you. And see if sometimes we're still trying to live out expectations that our parents had for us, or ideas that our parents thought were important about how we had to behave. I can tell you, I was on the 20-year plan, 25-year plan to get my degree in college. Now, a degree in college was not that important to me ever, but it was important to my dad. Now, I graduated in 2006. My dad passed away in the early 1980s. And for over 20 years, I felt guilty. I felt remorse. I felt a sense of unaccomplishment because I didn't live up to one of my dad's hopes, desires, and expectations for me. And when I did get my degree, it was sort of anticlimactic because it wasn't all that important to me. Although it was a peak moment to go down, I did graduate, and to walk down between all the professors in their garb, and it was a standing ovation. That was extraordinarily moving and brought me to tears. But the diploma itself was sort of anticlimactic. I was living out what my parent thought was important for me. And that's not living an authentic life. So, what is important to you? I would love to hear in the comments below. Of course, every video I would love to hear. I'd like to engage with you. I want to know what you think. I want to know what's important to you, because I want to make videos and I want to write blogs that are meaningful to you, that can help you live a better life, that can help you remember to connect with the truth and the brilliance and the genius and the outrageousness and the boldness and the beauty and the badass that you are. But I'd love to hear, I need to know what you're struggling with, what you're dealing with, what limiting ideas do you not seem to be able to let go of. But anyway, please write in the comments below any of these 5 things. Actually, here's what I'd love to know. What is 1, 2, 3, 4, or all 5 of the things that you like best about yourself? I'd love to celebrate that with you. I'd love to celebrate you. And I do celebrate you behind the scenes in between these videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you think someone else could benefit from this, please, please, please share it. Like it, subscribe to my channel. Visit my website at www.janetkingsley.com. You'll find blogs there, written articles. You'll find other videos there. And it is my great joy and passion to serve you. And until next time, rock on.